Welcome to Heel Fan News. I'm your host, the Heel Fan. Let's get down to wrestling results. Clash Pro Wrestling had an all-out war at the Taylortown Trade Center off Ecorse Road in Taylor. And the results are Elk versus the main event, Justin Maine. Elk wins by countout because Justin Maine couldn't handle the heat. There was a six-way match to see who would be the last entry in the all-out war battle royal, and ended up being the Clash member, Dave Manzo. Then there was a six-man tag match that put Jay Miller, the Great Akuma, and Jun Hondo versus the Clash. And, of course, Jay Miller, the Great Akuma, and Jun end up winning that match. Then there was, after that match, there was a melee, and Dead Vaughn come out and unmasked himself to reveal himself to be Jack Vaughn and joins the Clash. Yes, you heard it here. He joined the Clash. Then GQ ended up defending his title against the Bodyguard, Brutus Dillon, and GQ pulls it off. He retains the belt, and he'll face the winner of the All-Out War at the next show. And speaking of that, All-Out War winner, Dave Manzo of the Clash. He's rising to the top really fast, and I guarantee you, we might see a new champion come November 22nd, which is their next show. Now here's the results for Pro Wrestling All-Stars Horror Slam. That was on Friday, October 10th at Playlantis in Melvindale off Allen Road. We started the show off with a triple threat tag match, where the winner of that would get a PWAS tag title shot later in the show. Then we have the Dirty White Boy Chuck Stein and the Hebrew Hammer Joseph Swartz. They took on the Threat, Amazing Nate Matson, and the King of Status Briar Wellington, along with the Viking War Party. And Chuck Stein and Joseph Swartz pulled it off. They ended up winning that match and cementing themselves into the tag team title match. Then we ended up with Lieutenant Chris Moore versus Frank Wyatt. Good match. It was back and forth. But Frank Wyatt pulled off the win. Hey, Chris, you were my boy, man. Brickzilla. And you become Lieutenant Chris Moore. You join the State of Corruption. I don't know what's going through your head, buddy, but where was your family? Where was the State of Corruption in your match? They didn't help you. I saw you out later in the night for another match. We'll get to that in a minute. We ended up having a PWAS Cruiser Core Championship match, putting the champion Chase Matthews versus Owen Travers. Alright, they tore the house down. Best match of the night. Owen Travers came up a little short as Chase Matthews once again proves why he's the Cruiser Core Champion and why all his fans say #Rise of Matthews. That being said, Randy West came out. She was a little upset with Matthews because he palmed her when she refereed a match. So what does she do? She throws him back in the ring, and Owen Travers hits the full 540 kick. Oh, that 540 kick is awesome. I suggest you come see this show live to see that kick in person. It's a good kick. Anyways, now we get to the tag title match. Of course, like I said, the Dirty White Boy Chuck Stein and the Hebrew Hammer Joseph Swartz took on the Hooligans, Devon and Mason Cutter. And then, of course, the champions, the High Stars, the Natural Lance Star and Atlas Hightower. Let's just say we have new tag team champs. The Dirty White Boy and the Hebrew Hammer pulled it off. They're your new PWAS tag team champions. Congratulations goes out to you boys. Stellar match, good showing. Unfortunately, the Natural Lance Star once again gets injured. He's out for an undisclosed amount of time. Heel Fan here wishes Lance Star to a quick and fast recovery. Best elbow since Macho Man Randy Savage. Gotta see that too. Speaking of best of stuff, we ended up having a special mask versus hair match, putting the Mysterious Movado versus Old Timer Jeff King. Jeff King spent more time trying to rip that mask off during the match than he did wrestling Movado. Movado ends up pulling off the win and shaving the Old Timer bald. He's sporting a new do. How's it? looking. Anyways, let's get on to our main event. Before I tell you the main event, at the beginning of the show, Rod Street comes out and starts heckling the crowd because PWAS had a costume contest going on. There's this one man sitting in a Jason mask, kept doing the Sabu symbol, kept doing it. And earlier, before that, Rod Street had told us that he got Sabu arrested, so Sabu was not going to be at this show. So he was not defending his title. So the fan kept doing it, so he got bothered by the fan doing the Sabu symbol. He invited the fan in the ring. The fan takes off his mask to reveal himself to be the Great Akuma. And now we have a title match, the Great Akuma versus the champion, Officer Rod Street. They end up doing a battle in an Extreme Rules match. And wouldn't you know it, the State of Corruption didn't take long to interfere. They end up handcuffing Akuma to the rope. And the lights go out. When the lights return, Akuma is gone. The referee ruled the match a no contest. Where did Akuma go? We don't know. But I'll tell you more when we talk about their next show. Here's their flyer for their next show. And now let's move on to TWA, Takedown Wrestling Alliance. They had a good show. I actually have some video from their show. A couple matches I'm going to talk about I do not have video for. They open up the night with Tommy Johnson coming out running his mouth about wanting to face the Mysterious Movado for the TWA Heavyweight Championship. Instead of Movado coming out, Sweet Willie Watts comes out. He puts his 2 cents in by saying that you have not beaten me. So, that being said, they end up with a little scrum, and Jeff Hackett, the Law, come out and sat down the Law, making the main event Primetime Tommy Johnson versus Sweet Willie Watts for the #1 contendership for the TWA Heavyweight Championship. Let's get to our first match here. It was Psychos versus A-Team. Newcomers, new tag team in the TWA, and they wanted to make a statement by taking on the Psychos. And they made a statement. They destroyed the Psychos. A-Team was stellar. Good new team. I have a feeling they're going to be around for a minute. Then we have to go from them to another newcomer, Cobra TA. He might not be a newcomer to the independent scene, but he's a newcomer to the TWA. And he ends up taking on J-Dog. And him and J-Dog had a good battle back and forth. J-Dog ends up rolling up the win. And they end up shaking hands and leaving the show. Then we have another newcomer in Alex Cross. He ends up taking on OCD, the Dancing Machine. And unfortunately for OCD, he couldn't dance his way into a win column as Alex Cross, Mr. Detective, took away that win. Now we move on to some footage I do have. We put the King of Status, Briar Wellington, versus Rampage. Check it out. Briar's the man! Boo! Covington showing why he is the true king of status. Pulls out the win. Rampage left sitting there sulking just like the Michigan football team. Don't get me started on them. Then we had Genesis versus the League of Legends. Check this match out. Wow, as you see, it ended in a time limit draw, but what you will see next is what happened afterwards. Watch this. Dang, the A-Team wants to show everybody why they're going to be an elite tag team. They go after the League of Legends. High Voltage, you have a title match later in the night. Why are you sticking your nose where it doesn't belong? You guys need to worry about your own business and quit worrying about everybody else. That being said, we move on to a match that's been going back and forth. I actually had some video a couple months ago showing Psycho Taker tombstoning Chelsea Marie on a chair. Did she think it would get any better if she continued to challenge Pounder Patterson? Well, apparently it didn't, because her and Pounder Patterson went at it again. And once again, Pounder Patterson showing why women need to stay in the kitchen and not in the ring by whooping that tail. Let's take a look at the video. I have video of that. Watch this. Wow, I told you Pounder Patterson was not playing around. Did you see Chelsea's grandpa? He was going to put a hole in Psycho Taker. Speaking of Psycho Taker, watch what happened after the match. Oh, with that being said, here's something Ice Age had to say to High Voltage before their match.
Tonight, the future Rob Frost, the legendary Sam Farr legend, Ice Age. It's been a long, cold summer. It comes through here tonight, October the 18th. History's going to be made right here in Garden City, Michigan, as we take on, and not only that, we walk away with the UIWA Tag Team Championship. Keith Calhoun,
Scotty Freytown.
been a lot of years there, Mr. Calhoun. I mean, you've been around the ring all over the country. You know who the legendary Sam Farmer is.
This man.
But now I got this man right here, the Wrecking Ball himself.
I am
the future Rob Frost.
And you know what, Sam? The weather's not cold outside, right? Oh, we're going to destroy him. We're going to make him freeze.
Is I take a look at you over TV land. That's right. Go pop your popcorn. Don't turn that channel.
Oh, no.
Because tonight, it'll be a legendary night. And the new age has fallen.
Oh, yes.
On TWA and the UIWA. As tonight, you will have brand new tag team champions.
One last thing. It's time to get frosty, baby.
Wow, Ice Age now lost for words. Unfortunately, what they carry in words, they can't carry in the ring, as High Voltage walks away, still the tag team champions. Let's move on to our main event. Primetime Tommy Johnson versus Sweet Willie Watts. Here's some pieces from that match. Check it out.
introduce you to Mr. Chair here. That's what we talking about around here, brother. All right, I'm gonna beg this man. Okay? Come on, man.
Willie, I told you, you should not stick your nose in other people's business. Tommy Johnson takes the win after you take a hit from Psycho Taker. Now, that wasn't all. There was a big accident or whatever at the end of the show, and of course the Law had something to say. Let's take a look.
Thank you all for coming, but I have an announcement to make. I was on the phone with the TWA Executive Board, and I will be meeting with them this week, and on November 22nd, at our next show right here in Garden City, I'm going to have an announcement about the TWA Tag Team Championship. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Wow, he's going to have a message for us at the next TWA, which is November 22nd. We'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Here's the flyer for that. And man, Psycho Taker tombstoning Sweet Willie Watts. I wonder if them two are going to get on at the next show. Now it's on to XICW. Best in Detroit 7 Anniversary Part 1. It was their 14th anniversary. It was their Best in Detroit at the Imperial House in Clinton Township. And let me tell you, the show was off the wall. Alex Shelley versus Kid Hybrid, Orlando Christopher for the Light Heavyweight Championship ended up in a 15-minute time draw. The true best in the world, Kid Hybrid, Orlando Christopher, had that match won, but of course, like I said, time draw. Alex Shelley said he doesn't work for free, or he doesn't get paid for overtime, whichever. He refused to continue the match after the fans started chanting 5 more minutes. They said they'd mix it up. We'll have to find out later in the year if that will happen, or if that will happen at the beginning of next year. That being said, Andy Muscat took on a member of the JP Investments, Joel Coleman, the Genetic Jackpot. And unfortunately for the Genetic Jackpot, Andy Muscat won that match. Caleb Stills ended up taking on the mysterious Movado. Movado couldn't pull the win off, as the new tradition, Caleb Stills wins. Sweet Willie Watts takes on EC3, and EC3 has a group called the Fraternity in his corner. The match was all over the place. It ended up in a disqualification, but Willie still got a couple of kisses. Then we move on to the grudge match. The Fun Loving Criminals, the DBA and Jamie Cox versus the Scarboni brothers, Sonny and Vinny. That match ended in a no contest. But let me show you something that DBA did during this match. Check this out. I love the flaming elbow, man. That flame, he lights that back. Ooh, that has to burn. The match was thrown out. No contest. They ended up in my lap. Check these videos out. That's all the video I have from that show. It was a good show. The one-man militia, Austin Manax, was hired by Johnny Delicious to take out the thorn in his side, Paul Bowser. Did he do that? Well, he beat Bowser, but didn't get rid of Bowser. I'll explain more later in this show. Hakeem Zane defends his Midwest Heavyweight Championship against T.D. Thomas. I like to call him Titty. And, of course, Zane showing why he's the champ. He keeps piling body on body on body. Once again retaining his title. The Mad Dragon, unbeatable since becoming the Midwest Heavyweight Champion. Then we have the tag team title match. TLC. Table, Ladders, and Chairs. Jeff Brooke, Dickie Bronson, Death Wish versus the Painkillers, the champions. The match also was all over the place. And both, or should I say all four members ended up going through tables. But Jeff Brooks ends up pulling off the win for the Death Wish to win them the tag team titles. On all days, Dickie Bronson's birthday. What a birthday gift, huh? That being said, Mark Joka and All Day Danny Shea go at it. Mark Joka, another member of JP Investments, comes out with JP and the ladies. Match is getting started. They're doing good. Next thing you know, Abyss shows up. Abyss interferes in the match, having the match thrown out as a no contest, and ends up choking JP through the ring practically. Then he calls out Rhino, the man beast. They come out, they fight, they end up in front of me, they end up all over the arena. Match ends with a gore. Rhino pulls off the win. You can get the DVD at xicwdetroit.com when it comes out, or go to one of XICW shows to buy the DVD. It's called The Best in Detroit 7 Anniversary Part 1. On XICW 185. Best, XICW proves to us every time I go to one of their shows why they're the best locker room in the independent scene, at least in the Midwest area that I've gone to. It's nothing against anybody else. All you wrestling companies, you guys are good, but nobody's better than XICW. They put on stellar matches. The crowd loves it. The wrestlers love it. It's a good show. They start off the show with everybody standing around the ring to salute a toast for Anniversary Part 2. And everybody goes back to the back except for Zach Gowen. Zach Gowen challenges the New Tradition, Caleb Stills, to a match. They end up going back and forth. And Zach Gowen puts the yes lock on Stills. And Stills rolls him up. And Zach Gowen never lets go of the lock and gets pinned. 1, 2, 3. It happens. Then we have Owen Travers versus All Day Danny Shea. That match was pretty good up until Austin Manax, the one-man militia, stuck his nose in it. He comes out to the ring with a chair, tosses Danny Shea the chair. Danny Shea says, no, I'm not going to use it. But then Owen starts kicking his butt. So then Austin gets up on the apron to draw Owen's attention, which he does. And then Shea hits Owen with a chair, getting disqualified. So that being done, is Danny Shea and Austin Manax forming a group? We'll have to find out later in XICW shows. Let's get to our first grudge match. Vinny Scarboni versus Jamie Cox. Now, you saw what happened at Best in Detroit. No contest, so they split the teams up. So first up was Vinny Scarboni, Jamie Cox. It ends in a double disqualification. Neither man can control their anger. Then we see Austin Manax come out to face the Mysterious Movado. And who comes out during that match? All Day Danny Shea. Apparently they are forming a group. Because of his outside interference, it cost Movado the match. After the match, Austin and Shane decided it's time to beat down Movado, and who comes to the rescue but Owen Travers. Now after he rescues Movado for his troubles, he gets a heel kick. Right in the mush. And you know what? It pays to show you don't stick your nose in other people's business. That being said, we move on to Johnny Delicious versus Paul Bowser. Bowser loses. He can never, ever wrestle for XICW again. What happened? Johnny Delicious paid some people. He paid off the Motor City Thunder. They make their debut and help Johnny Delicious. As well as Big Chuck Wagon turns his back on the fans and helps Johnny Delicious. Wagon, I need an interview with you, buddy. Next XICW show, I want to have a word with you. As well as the Motor City Thunder. Why would you debut at a show being in the back pocket of Mr. Delicious? That being said, Johnny Delicious wins, but DBA comes out and gives Bowser a contract anyways. DBA, you're the man. Most dangerous man in Michigan, proves why he's dangerous. That being said, he had a match. Him and Sonny Scarboni. Sonny and DBA went in the ring, outside the building. They came back in. DBA ends up getting disqualified for using a chair. But then Vinny comes down with a bat full of barbed wire and hits DBA in the stomach. Then he says, I'm hardcore. How hardcore are you when Jamie Cox comes out with a drill? You took off running, didn't you, Vinny? Look here, Mario. Don't open your mouth if you can't eat the mushroom. That being said, they said they're going to mix it up. They want one last match, a tag team match, against each other at the next XICW. That would be awesome to see. Now, Willie Watts, you beat EC3. You were given a prize for that. You got to take on the Midwest Heavyweight Champion, the Mad Dragon Hakeem Zayn, with nobody in his corner. Zayn once again proves why he's one of my favorite champions, stacking more bodies on top of more bodies, as he is unbeatable since becoming the champion, beating Sweet Willie Watts. Then the main event, the Painkillers with T.D. Thomas versus Death Wish with the true best in the world, Orlando Christopher Kid Hybrid. The match was all over the place. They were even walking the ropes. But at the end of it, Death Wish and Orlando Christopher pull out the win. Orlando Christopher pulls a fake injury that's lured T.D. Thomas in and rolls him up for the pin. Thomas did not like that. He was a little upset about that, and they end up fighting. They end up all over the place. So at the next show, which I will tell you about, as I start the next shows, you'll hear. So that being said, here's all the flyers for the upcoming shows. Check them all out. Let's start off with the upcoming shows for November. Starting November 6th on a Thursday night, Skull Games Benefit Show. VFW Hall, Joy Road, Westland, Michigan. All tickets just $5. Yes, you heard me say that. $5. Doors open at 7, bell times at 7:30. We have great matches for you. We have a Paul Bowser Open Challenge. Yes, Open Challenge. Then you have the Scarbonis, the Fun-Loving Criminals. What? They're going to mix it up on a non-XICW show? Oh, they're going to tear the house down. And if there's any house left, you're going to see Rhino take on Johnny Bravo. I'm telling you, Bravo has this. This is a match for him. I'm telling you, it's all over. Here's the flyer for that show again. Now, XICW, Sunday, November 9th at the Ritz Bar on Hoover Road, Warren, Michigan. Tickets for adults are $12 in advance, $15 at the door. Kids are $10 in advance, $12 at the door. Bell time is 5:30. I'm going to tell you this right now. Get your tickets early. Get them now. Get them now. Get them now. You can go to xicwdetroit.com to get your tickets. But I'm telling you, the main event itself is worth going. It's XICW 186, the Aftermath. We have title for title. Yes, title for title. We have the Intense Extreme Championship, the Light Heavyweight Championship. They're going to be combined when the best in the world, the true best in the world, Kid Hybrid, Orlando Christopher, takes on TD Thomas. That match is going to be price of admission all on its own. You heard it here first, folks. Kid Hybrid never lets anybody down. Kid Hybrid's walking away with 2 titles. I don't know any more matches, but if you keep up at xicwdetroit.com, I'm sure you'll find more matches on there. Here's their flyer, matter of fact. Any given Friday. PWAS, Friday, November 14th, Play Atlantis, Allen Road, Melvindale, Michigan. Tickets are available at Play Atlantis. For advanced tickets, they're $10 for adults, 12 and under kids, $5. At the door, it'll be $12 for adults, $7 for kids. Doors open at 7, bell time 7:30. They already have a stat card. Yes, you heard it here first, a stat card already. They have the newly crowned PWAS Tag Team Champions. The Dirty White Boy, Chuck Stein, the Hebrew Hammer, Joseph Swartz. They'll be defending those titles against the Hooligans. Yes, the Hooligans. Then there's a triple threat match for the Cruiser Core title, as Chase Matthews puts up his belt against 2 opponents. Can he keep that belt? The 2 opponents is John Wayne Murdoch and Owen Travers. Is he going to keep the belts? I want to know. Is he going to keep the belts? We'll have to wait and see. FIA, missing in action, makes his return, and who's he going to face? Haizay. I've never heard of this guy before, but from what I'm being told, he's a great competitor. He's a newcomer. Can't wait to see what he does at PWAS. Then, we also have the Threat taking on the Viking War Party, as well as the PWAS titles up for grabs. As the Great Okuma gets another shot, but this time he gets a shot in the Policeman Riot Lumberjack match. You heard it here, Policeman Riot. So there'll be cops surrounding the ring to help Officer Rod Street once again. Okuma might pull it off. We'll have to wait and see. But that is Friday, November 14th. Here's their flyer. Check it out. Clash Pro Wrestling, Clash Wrestling, Divided We Fall, November 22nd at the Taylortown Trade Center on Ecorse Road in Taylor, Michigan. Pre-sale tickets are available at ClashWrestling.com for $12 or at the door for $15. Don't have a flyer for them, so we'll move on to TWA. Takedown Wrestling Alliance, United Family Life Center on Florence in Garden City, Michigan. All tickets are $5. All tickets are $5. I don't have matches or anything, but we do have a flyer for them. Here's their flyer. Well, that is it here from the Heel Fan News. I want to thank you for your time. Hope you enjoy the show. Hopefully you get out there and support independent wrestling. That's why I am doing this. I want people to come to the shows. Pay the ticket price. Sit your butt down and have fun. Bring the family. Bring your grandparents. Bring whoever you want. All these wrestling shows I have mentioned in this show are great companies. Ran smoothly. Okay? There's a little stuff here, a little stuff there. Don't pay attention to that stuff. Come see the show for yourself. TWA, $5. The benefit show is going to be $5. You got the XICW show, $15. You got PWAS 12 bucks, and you got Clash 15 bucks. Guys, at least go to one. Prove to the people you are a wrestling fan. If you're watching this, you are a wrestling fan. Get to the shows. I want to say see you later, and I have a special guest on my next show.
Something special for you and your face, bitch.